Hi friends, welcome to another weekly edition of Quick Tip videos brought to you by dataplatformcentral.com. So in this week we are again back with another one of the latest additions to Power BI. So Power BI November updates are out, and as we are probably aware, there are lots of new exciting features which have been introduced in this latest updates. One of the features which really caught my eye and which proves to be really useful for a lot of us developers are the introduction of page and the bookmark navigators. So in this edition I am going to show you a step-by-step process of creating a report using page as well as bookmark navigators. Using these structures makes it very easier for us to create a report which spans multiple pages with multiple tabs. So in this example, we are going to take a multi-tab, multi-page report which will make use of a page as well as a bookmark navigator for easy navigation within the pages as well as the various tabs. Previously, if you wanted to do the same thing, you wanted to use lots of buttons as well as lots of navigations back and forth for getting the same functionality. Now with the use of these page as well as the bookmark navigators, things have become very easier, and from a developer perspective it saves us a lot of development effort by using the page as well as the bookmark navigator. So let's see how we can create a report from scratch and use page and bookmark navigators so as to create the multi-page navigation as well as the multi-tab navigation features. To start with the demo, I have opened a blank Power BI sheet and I'll be connecting to my local database where I have some sample tables which are populated from AdventureWorks database, which will be used for this demo. And since this demo is from scratch, even the people who have not yet used bookmarks will be able to follow this demonstration and create a sample report which uses the bookmark as well as the bookmark navigators to navigate through the various bookmarks which acts as tabs in this case. So let's start off by first connecting to the model. Let's go to the get data, and I'm going to connect to my local SQL Server model which I have set inside my local instance. I'm going to copy the instance name and paste it. So the instance name is now pasted, and the database that I'm using is ABC Bytes, and I'm going to connect to it in import mode because this is a demo. So depending on your requirement, you can connect to the import mode or through the direct query. So I'm choosing the import mode, and once the Explorer comes up, I'm going to select the required tables. I'm going to select all the tables which are inside production and the sales scheme. So all the tables are now selected, and I'm clicking on load to load my model. So now the model will load with around 9-10 tables which are inside my local instance of SQL Server. I'll be using these tables for creating a sample report, and I'll be organizing the report into multiple pages, and each pages will be having multiple tabs by making use of the bookmarks. So let's see how the whole thing can be built. And the advantage of this is that you can see for yourself the time taken for creating this report will be very minimal because of the usage of this page as well as the bookmark navigators. No more lots of buttons one over the another, no more usage of lots of bookmarks for conditionally hiding and showing buttons. It's all taken care of by this two useful objects which are the page as well as the bookmark navigators. So the model is now loaded. You can see all the tables. There are around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 tables, and if you go to the model, you have to do a small tweak before you start on it, because you want to make the relationship between sales orders and sales order items into dual direction. Cross filter direction should be both, because some of the measures that we use has to propagate through both the directions. So once you do this change, then you can come back, and now we are ready for creating our reports. So we'll start off by first creating a matrix, and inside this matrix I am going to add the brand as the row, category as the column, and the quantity from sales order items as the value. So this will be sum of the quantity, and the other two will be the corresponding values. So you will get for each brand, for each of the categories, what was the total number of quantity which was ordered. It's a very simple report here, and I am also going to add one more line chart which is going to show me for each brand and for each order year and month, so I'm going to remove the other things and I'm going to look at the quantity over a period. So one is the tabular one, another one would be the graph one. So I've created both these visuals now, and now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to add a filter to this from sales stores, and this is going to be added as a page filter. So I'm going to drag and drop the state from the sales stores and I'm filtering on it. And now as you can see, there nothing is applied in this filter, so I'm going to apply a filter of California, so that the data that you see in this page is only for California. So now I've created this page. I'm naming this page as California, and what I'm going to do is like I'm going to copy this page and paste it, and I'm going to rename it as New York. And the only change I'm going to do here is that for the page filter I'm going to make it, instead of California, New York. And the same thing I'm going to again repeat it for Texas. So I have 3 stores, one for California, one for New York, and one for Texas. And I'm going to create the pages which corresponds to each one of these stores. Again, let's go to the filter from New York. I'm changing it to Texas. So my pages are now ready, and I need to have one more page here, so that will be the summary page. So again, you can duplicate it, you can move the page towards the front, and you can name it summary. And here you don't have to set any filters for the state. So here I am going to select all, or you can leave it unselected. Both the cases it will give you the entire results. So now the pages are now ready. So now we can add a page navigator so as to navigate to each one of these pages. So for this purpose, what you can do is like you can go to the insert menu option, and there is a under buttons you can see this new navigator buttons which is introduced in the latest update. So assuming that your Power BI desktop has been updated to the latest version, you will be able to get this. So you can click on page navigator, automatically the page navigator will be added to the summary page, and by default this is the structure in which it comes in. You can change it accordingly. So in this case it is coming in horizontal manner, so if you want to change it you can always go and change it. So if you go to the visual, you have the style here, and then you have the shape and all the other properties related to this will be given here, and grid layout, and see the grid layout, it's currently in horizontal. I'm going to make it vertical. So and now I resize it and move it to the vertical, and now if I want to change the shapes also, you can go to the shapes. Here the default is rectangle, I'm going to change it to a pill shape, so it will be like this, just like pill shape, so make it more appealing. Or if you want to say select a chevron arrow, you can select that, or if you want to select a pentagon arrow, you can select that. So it's up to you to choose what type of shape you want it, and you can resize it so that it actually, before that you can move the visuals a bit to the side, and you can resize it so that it is able to include the data portions properly. So the page filter is now done. Now what you need to do is that you need to go to each of the pages and add a back button, so that if you want to come back, you can make use of the back button. So you can go to the buttons, click on back, and you can use this back button to come back to your main page once you hover to another page. Same thing, you can copy and paste it on all the different pages. So up to this point we have created the page navigators and we have created the back buttons. Now if you want to see this in action, you can go to the summary page, you can press down your control. When you are testing this in Power BI desktop, you need to press down the control and then click. So when you click on CA, it will automatically take you to the CA page. If you want to come back, again click on control and click on this button, it will come back to your main table. So now you can see that the page navigator is now working properly. So now what we need to do is like we need to add one more functionality to this, so that we will be able to see the different years. So as of now, if you see, we don't have any year filter. Now we will be adding one more year filter, and we will be having different tabs for different years, and it will be like a snapshot. So every year it will show all the data as on the end of that particular year. So what we can do for that purpose is that we need to first create a set of bookmarks. Once we create the bookmarks, then we will be able to create the Bookmark Navigator on top of that. So for that purpose, let's now go to the view option, the view menu option, and you can see the bookmarks on top. So click on the bookmarks. So the bookmark window is coming, and it's currently empty because we have not yet created any bookmarks. So let's start by creating the bookmarks for each of the cases. So we have to create separate set of bookmarks for each of these states and as well as for the summary. So let's first, we are currently in the summary page and we are going to now again add one more page filter to this, which is based on the year. So let's drag and drop the year from that onto the page filter, and you need to swap it to the basic filtering, and then you can select 2016. Automatically the data will change to only include the 2016. You can see from the graph as well, now we have only 2016. Now that we have got a snapshot, we can click on add and we are going to add the bookmark, and we will name this 2016. Similarly, now we need to add 2017. So for 2017, it will include both 2016 and 2017 because it's a snapshot. Again, click on add. It's very easy. Just select the required filters, make sure that the report is rendered for the filter, and click on add to create the bookmarks. Again, one more thing, that will be 2018. Select the 2018, click on add, and again use 2018. So now we are just using for this demonstration just 3 years. So now the bookmarks are created. We need to group these bookmarks. So select the control button and select all the bookmarks. So everything is selected. Right click and choose group, and these all will be automatically grouped. It will automatically name the group as group 1. You need to now rename it to summary because this is part of the summary. And similarly, the same thing has to be now repeated for each of these states, for California, New York, and Texas. So go to each of the pages and create these corresponding bookmarks corresponding to each of the year for each of these states. So let's go to the California page. Again, we need to drag and drop the order date into the page filter and order date year to the page filter, and then you need to select, go to the basic filtering, start selecting first 2016, then click on add. Again, make it like 2016, but this will be a part of different group, so we'll be grouping it in the end. Now then next select 2017, click on add, and 2017, like that we need to complete. Just like how we created it for summary, we need to create it for California, New York, and Texas. So the California group is also now created. You have all the 3 years inside that, 2016, 2017, and 2018. You can just test that by clicking on it, and now the same thing needs to be repeated for New York and Texas. So all the sets of bookmarks are now complete. Now it's time for us to add the Bookmark Navigator. So what we can do is, like, again go to the summary page, and you can go to again insert, and under the buttons we have the Navigator, and inside that you can see the Bookmark Navigator. So select Bookmark Navigator, and automatically it will add a navigator to the page. If you see, it will include all the bookmarks which are available inside the particular report. In this case we don't require that. Here inside summary we require only the bookmarks for summary. So you can go to the bookmarks property by selecting that Bookmark Navigator, and inside that by default it will be all. You need to restrict it only summary, so it will only show the years corresponding to the summary. And again here also, if you want to change the shape, you can change the shape to pill shape or any other shapes you want, and then you can test it. Again click on control, click on 2018, automatically you see that it's changing to 2018. You can look at the filter for that. Filter keeps on changing accordingly. Now select 2017, and you can see that it changes to 2017. Similarly 2016, and it changes to 2016. So as you see, the bookmark is working correctly. So now what you can do is, like, you can copy this and paste it to other pages as well. And what you can do is, like, you can, for going to each page, you need to change the properties so as to point it only to the corresponding bookmarks. So in this case, to go to the bookmarks, instead of summary you need to select California. Similarly for New York, you need to select New York, and for the Texas you need to select Texas, so that it will only include the bookmarks for the corresponding states. Once you do this, automatically all the things are now set. You don't need to do any kind of further manipulations here, no kind of action expressions or no kind of hidden or visible expressions or nothing like that. Don't even have to use the selection pane. If you remember, that was how you used to do it previously. Now your report is basically done. Now if you want to add some further clarity to that, you can probably add a title also to each of the pages to understand that what is the data that we are showing inside that particular page. So what you can do is, like, you can add a text box. So just add a text box. So inside the text box you will be creating two calculated values, one for returning the selected state depending on the page in which you are in, and the next one would be the year corresponding to which you selected the bookmark for. So So these two values you can create it inside, and one will be the order year, which corresponds to the sales order year, the maximum value, which is based on the filter that you selected, and the second one would be your state. So once you have selected both of this, you can create a message using these two calculated values. So sales for the year, so you can select the state name. So this is a summary. In this case, you don't require the state name. For all the other pages, you will require the state name first. Then sales for the year will be a constant message, and then will be corresponding to the year. And once you create it, you can select it by selecting the different years. You can see if the year value is changing. So if you select 2017, the year changes to 2017. Similarly, if you go to New York, automatically the page value changes to, the state value changes to New York. So now that everything is working fine, now we can save this report. You can save it and give it a name. So I have given it the name like Page Navigator Bookmark Navigator report, and then once you can click on publish to publish it to your service. I have linked to my service using the login, so you can also log into the service using your own account, and I am going to select it to my workspace. So what will happen, this report will get published to the my workspace inside my Power BI account. So now that the report is published, you can go back to the Power BI. So go to one of the browser tab and click on powerbi.com, and you can go to your workspace, and you can spot that new report which has come now, which is Page Navigation Bookmark Navigator report. Click on that and click on the report inside that, and it will take you to the nice little report which includes the page as well as the bookmark navigators. You can go to the summary page to start off, click on any page navigator button, it will take you to the corresponding page. So when I click on New York, you see that the data it is showing is the New York sales for the year 2018. If you want to change the year, click on particular bookmark for that. Automatically the year will also get changed, and the data in the visuals will also be changed. At any point of time, if you want to go back, you can click on the back button. It will take you back to the summary page. Again, click on another state, say Texas. It will show you the Texas sales for 2016. You can change it to 2018 if you want. Again, come back. So it's very smoother. If you see the navigation between the pages as well as between the different bookmarks or the tabs within the page is very easier. And the time taken for creating this report is very short compared to the earlier method, because the page navigator and the bookmark directly gives you the organization of different bookmarks or the pages inside the report. And the good thing about it is that as you keep on adding more pages or more bookmarks inside a particular page, automatically the navigator will update itself with the latest set of pages. So if you want to add a new page, automatically that page will automatically come to this navigator. You don't have to do anything within that. Similarly, while you add a new bookmark, you add it to a group, automatically the corresponding bookmark navigator will be auto updated. So you don't have to worry about the maintenance of the new pages or the new bookmarks that you are getting added inside the report as well. So this makes it very easier for the developers to use these features, which is very cool feature, and it saves us a lot of development effort while creating these type of navigational reports. Hope this quick demo helped you to create a Power BI report with a new page as well as the bookmark navigators from scratch. The page and the bookmark navigators are two cool features which helps the developers in creating highly navigational reports which spans over multiple pages, with each pages having multiple tabs. So you can make use of these features to make sure that you cut down on your development effort, and also you'll be able to get a smooth navigational experience while deploying the reports to your Power BI service. As usual, keep sending your feedback and let me know your comments. Follow my channel to get useful tips like this, and click on the bell icon to get notifications. Meet you soon next week with another cool feature from Power Platform or from an Azure development perspective. Till then, bye and thanks for your time.